Hey guys, what's going on? So I said I would post on Sunday, and here I am posting on Sunday. So the story I'm going to tell you today is my coming out story, as I affectionately like to call it, telling the Irish-Italian clan. Because yes, I am half Irish, I am half Italian, and in my family we really didn't talk about these types of things. I have another cousin who is gay, and he has been with his partner for over 20 years, but even then, we never talked about it, never mentioned it. You know, I have a grandmother that goes to church every week, very Irish woman. So I never knew where my family stood on all of this. I truly didn't. And as a kid, it's terrifying because your family is who you look up to the most, and it's who you trust with your life. And I've had bad experiences with family members. Obviously, I don't talk to my biological father at all. It's a bad part of my life that we'll get into in a later story. But, so telling my family, I knew I wanted to tell them, and I knew I was praying that it would be okay. And I remember being at school the one day and just saying, you know what, today's the day. Today's the day I'm finally going to tell everyone. Today's the day I'm finally going to be myself. Today is that day. And so I texted my aunt who I live with, and I said, can I talk to you when I get home from school? I need to talk to you. It's very important. Please, can we talk? And she goes, and I remember her text very vividly because she told me she already had the inkling. And so she's like, yeah, does this require cake? And I said, it might. And so when I got home from school, me and my brother got home. My aunt goes, all right, I have to run to the grocery store. Come with me. So before we even pulled out of the driveway, I was in tears. I burst right out into tears. I was so scared because she's one of the most influential women in my life that I was petrified to tell her because I did not know how she was going to react. And she looked at me and said, why are you crying, babe? She goes, I've known since you were like 3 or 4. And I'm getting teary-eyed talking about it now. But, people, if they don't have to do a coming out, don't get the whole message behind it coming out and how raw and emotional it gets. Because to them, they're like, oh yeah, that's so great, so brave. But to a person that has to do a coming out, it's terrifying. Because you think of all the worst possible scenarios first. And with my aunt, I burst out into tears like I am right now. Because she was so cool with it and so normal about it. Like it was like I was telling her I got an A on a book report. Like it was that normal for her that I was telling her that I was a lesbian, that I was gay. And to me, it was changing my entire life. Everyone was going to look at me differently. And at that time, gay marriage was not legal, obviously. And me sitting there thinking, this is going to change my entire future. Because people are going to look at me differently. Things are going to be so much changed. And, I'll never be normal. And, I've never been normal per se with my heart condition or all of that. But this is a different type of normal. This is the normal that, people have expectations for you. And so after I told my aunt, we went to the store. We were fine. We were making jokes. She got cake. I came home. I told my uncle, and he was like, yeah, okay, I thought so. And then I proceeded to tell all of my siblings. I have 5 of them, and only 4 at that point lived in New York. I had a brother who was in Maryland at the time. He was going to be coming back to New York, but, so I told my 2 younger siblings first because they're the ones that lived in the house with me at the time. One of my older brothers did live in the house, but he wasn't home. So I told my younger brother, and he's only 2 years younger than me. So I told him, and he was like, yeah, no, that's cool. I knew, kind of had a feeling, that's awesome. Good for you, basically like nonchalant. Yeah, we figured. And then came having to tell my little sister who is 7 years younger than me. And at that point, she was very young. She's only 15 now, so she was very young. And having to explain to that young of a child, like, that I like women, I don't like guys. Her reaction was spot on, perfect, amazing, like, funny, and made me, like, feel more uplifted about coming out. And as people just kept saying, yeah, we knew, that's awesome, that's great, I felt better telling each and every person. And it truly shows, the pride that you have and everything that goes into it coming out. It makes it so wonderful to come out. So I told my sister, and then she was fine with it. She's like, oh, like in the TV show The Fosters. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. She goes, okay, cool, so I'll get another sister-in-law. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you will. She goes, okay. So I told my older brother, he's like, that's awesome, that's great. I told my older sister, she's like, I knew. Right away, I knew. And I'm like, cool, all right, cool. And then I called my older brother, who didn't live in New York at the time, called him on the phone, and I talked to him for a little bit, and he, eased my nerves even more, because after his phone call, I had to make another phone call to my Irish Catholic grandmother, who gave me one of the funniest reactions to a coming out, I think, ever. I was petrified to tell her, and my brother goes, I got my bowl of popcorn, I'm waiting for her to throw holy water on you, making a joke about it. So I called her, I said, Nana, listen, I got something to tell you. You might not like it, you might look at me completely differently, you might not love me anymore, but I have to tell you. And she goes, what is it? And I said, Nana, I'm gay. I'm a lesbian. I like girls. And she goes, well, whatever makes you happy and whatever you want to do in your life, that's fine. I support you. I love you. Nothing can change that. And she goes, and her next reaction was, because of my heart condition, I cannot have children. Otherwise, there is a 99.9 repeat chance that I could end up dying if I ever had children. And her reaction was, oh, thank God, you won't have kids. Your wife can. I'm like, okay, cool. Great talk. Thanks a lot, Nana. Thanks. It eased my mind. And after telling her, it was, I felt so amazing. I started telling everybody. It was great. It's truly amazing. I told everyone after that point, and I think I got over that hurdle after I told my aunt and after I told my grandmother, because they're two of the biggest role models in my life. And telling them, I was petrified. I didn't tell my uncles right away, like my other two uncles that didn't live with me. I didn't tell them right away because I don't have as close of a relationship with them as I do with the uncle that I live with. The uncle that I live with, he's like a father to me. He's my father figure. He's been in my life for years now. He is, like a number one person in my life. And my other two uncles, I'm close with them, but I'm not as close with them. And so I didn't tell them for a few more months. Everyone knew, and my aunt actually told one of my uncles for me, and he goes, yeah, I figured. He goes, but yeah, good for you. And then my other uncle actually brought it up to me on Christmas Eve at dinner. And so he was he made a joke about it, and his wife actually hit him in the chest and goes, shush, she might not want people to know about it. And I'm like, no, that's, cool. And so everyone was fine with it. All my little cousins are cool with it. They kind of get the idea, but they're still young, so they don't fully get the idea, but, it is what it is. And telling people, like I said, it's one of the most terrifying experiences of your life, but it's one of the most rewarding experiences of your life. And I know for a lot of people, if you have a bad coming out, if your parents don't accept you, if they don't, there's so many places and so many people that will accept you, that love you, and you can make your own family. Sometimes family is not just blood. Family is people you can make, your best friends or, people that you look up to, role models, they can be your family. And I just want everyone out there to know that if you have been turned away by family or friends, I'm here for you. I love you. I support you. And no matter what you do in your life, as long as you're happy and as long as you know true to yourself and you keep true to yourself, nothing can hurt you. No one can hurt you. The negative thoughts that people put on other people is just a reflection of themselves. Because truly, people who are happy with their own lives don't put other people down. If you're not happy with your own life, that's when you become a bully. That's when you become a negative person in someone else's life, someone else's story. Don't be that type of person. If you are happy with yourself, go out and support someone else. Go out and support 10 other people. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that truly matters in life is being happy and being proud of yourself and being proud of the life that you live. If you're happy with yourself, if you're happy with your life, forget everyone else because they don't matter in your life. Your life is your own. Make your own story. And as my grandmother always says, life is a journey, not a race. Enjoy your journey because I know I'm enjoying mine. I'm always here for everybody. If you want to message me, you can message me. Leave, comments if you want to. I'm always here to help everyone. That is why I started this channel. It's why I'm doing and telling these stories that I am, because truly, if I can help one person or 10 people or 100 people, that is my ultimate goal. I just want to help, because I know there are millions of people out there looking for someone to help, looking for someone to love them, looking for that community. And I just want to tell you, I am part of that community. I'm part of this community. I'm part of the world's community, and I'm here to help anyone and everyone I can. And I love and support you all, and thank you guys for listening. And don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, hit that like button if you enjoy this video, and I will be back again this coming week with 1 or 2 more videos. Thank you guys. Bye.